Later, Buster tweeted this update. The 3 other Yankees position players who are in COVID-19 protocol are Aaron Judge, Kyle Higashioka, and Gio Urshela. Because Judge was at the All-Star game with other players, this has triggered contact tracing questions for the Red Sox players and presumably others. Red Sox manager Alex Cora noted Thursday that not all of Boston's All-Stars have been vaccinated.
USA Basketball also feeling the effects of COVID. Bradley Beal will not participate in the Olympics after being placed in COVID protocol on Wednesday. Jeramy Grant has also been placed in protocol out of caution. However, the team is hoping he will remain with the squad. Team USA officials are now reaching out to possible replacements for Beal. Here's Greg Popovich's reaction to the news.
I'm dying for him. We all are. You know, since he's a little kid, this has been a dream of his. And he was playing great. He was having fun. You know, being a big part of us coming together chemistry-wise and as a family. And so for him and for his family, immediate family, it's devastating.
So the Americans will have at least one slot to fill before they head to Tokyo. 3 of their 11 players are still playing in the finals, and Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton. The calling card for a lot of these international teams is size and physicality. Bam Adebayo is the only true center on the roster, so maybe adding a little help up front would be beneficial. Brian Windhorst joining us now from Vegas. So Team USA scrambling to find another player for this squad. Who are possible replacements for Bradley Beal?
Yeah, so they've spent the last 12 hours gauging which players not only would be willing to play, but which players are in shape. This team is scheduled to leave for Tokyo on Monday. They don't have a run-up of 2 weeks like they've had with the rest of the players to get those guys in shape. So a couple of players that we think they're looking at. Julius Randle of the New York Knicks, who was one of the finalists to get one of the last spots, obviously coming off a terrific season. Also, I can tell you that Tobias Harris has been reached out to by Team USA to judge his availability, but he has been out of the country for the last 2+ weeks, celebrating his birthday, which is Thursday. So he is not really in position. I don't know what sort of his form would be. But I would also keep an eye on Duncan Robinson with the Miami Heat. He was a guy that was on the list of 57 players that the Team USA was considering. Robinson is an excellent outside shooter. I think would have been on this roster or had a good chance to make it if he was not a free agent. So that is an issue for him. So it doesn't sound like they're going after guards, guys, because Trae Young and Ja Morant both went to social media today and indicated they were not going to be on the team and had no interest and different views on whether they were interested or not. But it looks like they're headed for a forward. They certainly should have the decision by late tonight or early tomorrow morning.
So that spot still up in the air. What about the Americans that are still on this team right now, currently on the squad? They're supposed to play Australia on Friday in an exhibition contest. What's the status of that contest right now?
Yeah, they've got to really protect this roster at this point. They are leaving for Tokyo in a few days. Obviously, the players cannot test positive. They will not be able to take part in the Olympics. And so the game with Australia Friday is in peril. There's been discussions between the two coalitions about whether they should cancel the game just for safety reasons. It's not just Team USA. Australia's Olympic delegation has very strict COVID protocols, and they're very concerned about potential exposure. So it's Australia just as much as the U.S. And then there's another game on Sunday. At this point, in talking to sources around the team, they just want to get the guys onto the plane without any more positive tests so they can get to Tokyo and be in that bubble there. And that is going to take priority, even if that means losing games.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You want to play those games to build up that chemistry, but again, health, the biggest key right now. Thank you, Wendy. Appreciate that. All right, so this is only the 5th year that the U.S. men's team has lost multiple games since they started playing with the pros in 1992. In the other 4 instances, Team USA failed to win the major tournament, which occurred that year. That includes the 2004 bronze medal finish in Athens, the last time they failed to win gold at the Olympics.
Honest block late in Game 4, which has become his signature highlight of a terrific series so far for the Greek Freak. Meanwhile, questions now arise about the play of Chris Paul, who had 5 turnovers in Game 4 and 15 in his last 3 games. We have 2 reports, starting with Malika Andrews.
The Milwaukee Bucks are coming off an absolutely exhilarating Game 4, but while the rest of the world continues to debate where Giannis Antetokounmpo's block on DeAndre Ayton falls on the all-time great list, the Bucks are already setting their sights forward. They flew into Phoenix on Thursday night, and as Chris Middleton told me, he knows that the home team has won every game thus far in this series, and they're going to need to be aggressive from the get-go if they want to reverse that. But he said that he is hoping that they're able to win this Game 5 on the road, so they have the opportunity to close out this series in front of their fans at home in Milwaukee. And for more on the Phoenix Suns, here's Dave McMenamin.
Self-inflicted stuff. That's how Suns coach Monty Williams described what went wrong for Phoenix in Game 4 when his team missed a golden opportunity to go up 3-1 in the NBA Finals. The Suns led for 38 of the first 44 minutes of the game until the Milwaukee Bucks finished on its 17-8 run in the final 4 minutes. Part of that run was fueled by 2 late turnovers by Chris Paul, who accounted for as many turnovers personally for the game as the Bucks had as a team with 5. Williams stood by Paul as the Suns looked to go back up 3-2 in Game 5 at home. He's fine, Williams said. Great players have games like that. We expect him to bounce back.
The later it gets in a series, the stronger the Bucks have gotten. Milwaukee is now 11-2 in games 3 through 7 of a series this postseason. Since 2000, only the 2001 Lakers and the 2017 Warriors have had better win percentages in those games. Both of those teams won the entire thing.
Sports Center on the road is presented by Rocket Mortgage.
People expect a lot from me. You gotta be concentrated for every game because you're trying to win every game.
Here's Luka. It's gone! A Doncic dagger! Second to none. Best of the best, my best yet to come. Wow, what a pass by Doncic. There's the triple-double for Luka.
I just trying to have fun with the game. That's when I best play, and that's my key.
Jason Kidd was introduced as Dallas' new head coach on Thursday. The Hall of Fame point guard is 7 games under 500 for his career as head coach in Brooklyn and Milwaukee combined. The Mavericks brought in Kidd to work with superstar Luka Doncic and elevate the team to a legit contender.
Making that transition to becoming a head coach, you tend to think you know everything. Well, that's not true. And so just understanding there's smarter people around me, to take that advice, that communication, being able to develop. You know, we have a young team. I know we can talk about Luke, and I know those questions will come, but he's only 22. And so we still have a long ways to go to be that perfect player. And so just understanding my time in Milwaukee and Brooklyn, but my time around stars, you know, in LA, being able to share that journey and that experience with my players, it will be helpful because we all understand we're not going to go undefeated. There's going to be times that gets testy, and then how do we respond when things get hard?
If you remember, Jason Kidd was Mavericks player when they won the title back in 2011. Now, since then, they haven't won a single playoff series. 6 straight series losses since the franchise's only championship. That's the longest streak immediately following a title.